In the last 2 weeks, I've had a couple of members of law enforcement reach out to me suggesting that there was something big on the horizon, something that was coming, and the government was preparing for it. They wouldn't say what their exact explanation was. A lot of it was just they're talking about things with their superior officers and getting information from other branches of law enforcement to expect unrest here in the United States of America. I can see it. I'm sure that you can. We're seeing an increase in violence and all bad things happening across the country. If you're not interested in self-defense, then you better start getting interested right now, because there is a time coming where it's no longer going to be safe to go to the grocery store or to go pick up your medication at the pharmacy. And in a lot of places right now, I'd say that that time has already passed. We're seeing bar altercations and shooting events. We're seeing this happen at the grocery store. We are seeing it happen everywhere. You expect your children to be safe when they go to school, and we expect a degree of safety when we drive to work. But we're seeing road rage and people being pulled out of their vehicles, others being looted. We're seeing people being followed home from the grocery store and their items stolen out of the boot of their car before they even get inside. These things are happening with increasing frequency, and now it appears like law enforcement, maybe this information is coming down from other areas of law enforcement, the FBI, I'm not sure where it's coming from, but to have a couple of law enforcement officers reach out and say that they are expecting unrest in the next couple of weeks, that's significant, and it's something that we need to start paying attention to today. I want to read to you our newsletter. This was for May of 2022 for our Patreon account. This is a story, of course, in which we drive a scene, and we expect information to be gleaned from our viewers and from our readers on how they can prepare for the unknowns of tomorrow. It feels like they have been knocking at your front door for the past 45 minutes. In reality, it has only been a few moments of time, but the strong pounding of adrenaline that is your heartbeat reminds you that when seconds count, every passing moment of time is a moment that matters. Come on, Brian, I only need a little bit. That's a man's voice piercing through the base of his hand, pounding on the wooden door. A child cries in the background, likely because of the trauma and the chaos of this situation. The banging of hardened fist to front door stops, and you can hear the man, his wife, and their child walking away talking about something. That man is your neighbor, and to your dismay, he noticed one of your lights through a blackout curtain that you forgot to close. This mistake is a beacon in a world that goes mostly dark after sundown. It's not...
All praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Ha, Rakak, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which taught us the truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. May you endure to the end. Alright, so the show is what is it? Full spectrum survival. And that scenario that he's reading, alright, he's saying it's your neighbor. And that's biblical, alright? That's really going to happen. It tells you in the scriptures, alright, in 2 Ezra 15. Let's see. 2 Ezra 15. Alright, so verse 1, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, which are the Israelites, excuse me, the words of prophecy, so to tell them what's to come before it comes, through the words of the Bible, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. That's why the elect are called, alright, and chosen. They're going to be faithful. Alright, it says in verse 5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world the sword, which is the so-called white man, which he was blessed with the sword, which he has now the sword, the gun. Now they got nuclear missiles, and it says famine, which it tells you in excuse me, tells you in Revelation 6 that this devil, the so-called white man, was given the ability to kill with famine, and that he was given a great sword, a nuclear missile now. It says death and destruction. Alright, so the Lord is putting it in this Edomite's heart to bring forth their game plan for their new world order. Alright, and they're going to make it where you have to have an micro CHIP put in your body so that you can buy and sell. Alright, which is an abomination. Alright, and even if you take that, alright, you gotta remember this devil, the red man, the so-called white man, alright, he has it in his plans. Even if you do take it, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill the majority of the Israelites. It's called depopulation. Alright? 2/3 is what he's set at, allowed to kill. 2/3. Alright? Everything's preordained. Alright? And 1/3 will be preserved from it. But 2/3 are going to die a horrible death at the hands of the Edomites, the so-called Caucasians. Alright? Because they have been given a great sword, which they're going to try to get these Edomites. Edomites are going to try to get the Jake either micro or CHIP'd, or they're going to put them to death. Go to war with them in the street. Alright? Just like you said, the neighbor against neighbor. Let's go to that. Okay? It's in verse. It says in verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because they'll be under martial law. For because of their pride, which America's under martial law. Alright? You just ain't got it fully enforced, but the law's already been passed. I found that out very clear this year, because I was looking into my children going into school, and the school, you know, you pretty much don't have no parental rights in the state of Colorado. They took them away from you in the time of the, shutdown of the economy. So, all right, these are already pretty advanced to really, it's only going to come down to 1 day and 1 hour when they say, hey, you got to have this thing put inside your body, all right, so that you can buy and sell in this economy, or even travel, or do anything. Because they're pushing that around too up there in, these global conversations where you got these world leaders coming together, concerning the beast system, America, EU, and their military might, NATO, which they have the heathen joined with them, all right, as the UN. It says, for because of their pride, because of these people, the wicked that rule the world, which are the so-called Caucasians and the other nations, it says, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Why would they be afraid? Because you got someone trying to come inside your door, and you got a badass looking wife. You got a sexy daughter. Shit, you got an infant. And these people coming in, they could rape you, rape your family, eat you, your family. The bad things are about to happen. But the elect, the hopeful elect, are protected. All Alright, I'm just giving you scenarios which are going to play out. Because you got to remember that it's all prophesied that these things and much worse will come to pass. You know? It's like a time like no other. Alright, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. What is that Edomite just read about in his scenario? See, that's what's going to go. It's in everybody's heart. The Spirit of the Lord is being poured out upon all flesh. As I'm going down the road, I see a rainbow on the right-hand side. You know? But it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword. But you're going to have men with guns, men with knives, alright, and eventually nuclear missiles. It says, and spoil their goods, and go in their house for what? For goods. Food, maybe a bath, maybe a woman. You know, shit. Really, in this time, it's really going to be crazy because there's actually going to be a release of demons upon these people too. It's going to be really crazy to watch. And we're going to watch it because we're the witnesses. We're going to testify of the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai all the way into the kingdom. As they say, kingdom come, you know. Yahweh Shai's kingdom come. It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So I gave you two things. It says, for the lack of bread, which they're reading that scenario about, they're literally expecting, these preppers are expecting people, which I already heard this guy already say he had people show up on his property. Alright, that's what's going to happen. People are going to start breaking into houses more often, taking cars, stealing your groceries right out of your hands. Alright, more violent too, though, because there ain't going to be no food to even steal out the store. So anyone that has anything, they're going to become a target. Alright, but the elect are protected. It says, and for great tribulation. But you're going to have war in the streets of America. Alright? It says that the blood is going to be like up to the horse's bridle. Well, that's a lot of blood. You know, and it ain't saying that it's going to be a lake of blood. What it means is if you were able to gather all these dead that are going to, these people that are going to die soon, alright, in judgment, you would have like a Great Lake. You know, have you ever seen the Great Lakes of Canada and America? That's how many people are going to die. You know, so much that you would make a Great Lake of blood. So there's going to be great violence, great starvation. Alright? It says in verse 20, behold, saith Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me. Alright? So he's controlling them. He's pretty much the puppet master. Which are from the rising of the sun, like China, from the east, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Alright, so that they're going to fight each other. They're going to destroy each other with those great swords. And really, America is going to be where that main destruction is going to happen. And then Yahweh Shai is going to burn up the troops. Alright? that are in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh's Mashapah. It says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the supreme power Yahweh. Alright? So he's going to gather his elect and destroy this place. After they make that MOTB, implantable micro CHIP, mandatory for buying and selling. But when they do that, all hell is going to break out, because you're not going to be able to just go into the store no more. You're going to have to come to the realization that if you take this, if you're an Israelite, a lot of people are going to do it. And there's even some Edomites, they believe in their white hope Jesus, which is a false philosophy. And they're even going to fight against, it says there shall be sedition amongst men. Right here, verse 16, 2 Kings 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, which in Sri Lanka, alright, which I knew about them going through some hardship before they actually crashed, because they were having a diesel shortage out there before America faced its fuel problems. Because if you look out into these different countries, pretty much whatever they're going through, America's going to go through it. But America's going to suffer much more. Alright? Yeah. America's been pretty much fattened for the slaughter. It's the virgin daughter of Babylon who are to be destroyed. There's going to be a greater destruction on America than anywhere else in the world. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're going to invade their politician's house. They're going to do a lot of things, man. They're going to get it done. Because the Lord's going to put it in these people to put people to death that have been in power. And that's what happens even in the third world countries, They'll have a coup set up by Esau, and they'll have the people turn against their government, just like with Gaddafi. They loved, his people loved him, and then with America getting involved, he became public enemy #1. So that's what Esau's going to do to the Israelites. He's going to turn us into the public enemy #1, only to find themselves fighting against Yahushai, which Yahushai is coming to deliver us and to burn this place to the ground, to literally seal it to where nothing can come back from it. All praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem HaKadosh. Endure, brothers.